So if you guys are new to the channel, around 6 months ago, we snagged a 100-acre lease locally in my town. And guys, the plans and ideas I have for this piece of property were just out of this world, but it was gonna take a lot of hard work to accomplish those. So right away, we started breaking down the property the best way we possibly could, try to get a strategy, a game plan on how we were gonna make this property the best in my area for the time being that we had. Once that started off, we needed to get inventory. We needed to figure out what exactly we had all over this property. So guys, we started putting out cell cameras. We started making food plots, putting food out there for them. Figuring out what deer were in bachelor groups, which deer were gonna stay, which ones were gonna leave. And guys, all these are just, no one knows. I mean, you can only try to jump in that deer's brain in that head to figure out what exactly he's gonna do. But guys, a lot of the time you can't hunt off of cell cameras. You just gotta be there and provide them everything that they would want to hang around. I started experimenting with different minerals and just trying to figure out what scents and what flavors my deer liked, where these deer were traveling to, where they were grabbing water, if it was from our swamp, if it was from the creek, where the highways were, just all the clover, I mean, traveling through gas lines, everything I'd want to know to try to make my season the most successful I could. And even though I put so much work into this property and this farm, I still get so much enjoyment by exploring it to other people and like just letting them have the moment. Buddy, we got him on his first buck, Dylan. Amazing story. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. My girlfriend's never shot a deer. I brought her into this year. She wound up shooting a really nice buck. In between those times, we actually lost a lot of her bucks. The rut happened. Just the deer were just going everywhere, almost as if they got shot by another hunter or they just explored different properties, and I just haven't seen them since. In between Dylan's hunt and Lexi's hunt, I really only had about 3 main bucks that I wanted to target. One of them has been on the farm for such a long time that we even have pictures and existing evidence from the previous hunter that was here, I think in like 2020. Just wanted to get him out of the way. He was a very unique buck. He was actually shot with buckshot and he wound up making it, so we called him Warrior. And our second buck was Crush. Crush wound up coming in pretty early in the season. He was partnered up with a pretty big 6-point. 6-point wound up coming back here and there. Later in the season, like I said, guys, Crush has not been seen anymore. Then we have Maverick. Maverick's always been a very nocturnal deer. Never really got sight of him much except at night, but he was also on the hit list if I could pull it off. Then October 10th, we had one of the biggest bucks come through my property. And guys, when I saw this video, I couldn't believe my eyes. This was by far one of the biggest deer that I've ever seen locally in my town. It was the biggest deer that I've seen on my farm. And he was kind of a one-hit wonder. Once he came in, he left. So of course, Claw was on my hit list, man. I wanted this deer so freaking bad, but how can you go after a deer when he's nowhere to be found? But around 3 to 4 days before our rut really hit on our property, Claw wound up coming back. And when I say he came back, he made his appearance for around 4 hours on our property. He found one of my feeders on my power line, which is probably 50 yards from where I got him crossing through a scrape. And guys, the demeanor of this deer was so bold. The way he came in, he's never even seen one of my feeders on my property before. For the first time, I actually got a really good look at this deer, and guys, just his height, just his body, his rack, I mean, just everything about this deer just screamed massive. I mean, by far one of the biggest body deer I've ever seen or shot. And it might be a common thing, but I haven't had any deer on my property stand up the way that he did, trying to get inside that feeder. He knew there was food there, but because he always came through so late during the night, there was no food left. All the other deer would get to it because they were on a schedule, but Claw was on his own. But that was my whole goal, just to let that deer know that there was food there at one point. And even if I didn't see him through the rut, I would know that after the rut's over, because of just how big of a deer he was, he's gonna want to come back and try to find the highest source of protein food he could. And I'm not saying that my corn's it, but there was a good chance that he'd want to come back to it. But after that night, Claw wound up disappearing for another 2 weeks like he always did. I was not where this deer wanted to always be. I was a highway. I still had to figure out where this deer was going, which laps and routes he was taking, where was he bedding, why did he want to come through my property. So to try to understand this deer the best way I possibly could, I realized that for what I had to work with, this deer wasn't even going through the back of my farm. He wasn't even on my cameras where we have the most of the food, just the most action, where my blind is. I mean, everything that I prepared for this season, why even hunt there when, you know, the deer isn't even in my area. My best plan was to jump on the maps and really try to figure out where is a mature buck like this staying in the meantime when he is coming through my property. So my best chance to start trying to see this deer more on camera was to completely change spots. I was now hunting and going after this deer where I had absolutely nothing set up. Now where I tried to target Claw was probably only about a 10-acre field, and that was his line of travel. I went out, guys, I put my cell camera out. I wound up dumping over 200 pounds of corn in the field. So I gave it time, guys, and finally, after about a week, we wound up getting Claw coming through this field. And he didn't even eat. I just got him through the line of travel, which I knew if he was crossing there at least, he would eventually find the food or just want to hang out longer. So when the rut started, guys, I had so much action and I passed up so many good bucks that have been on my farm. Good is just, you know, just the average North Carolina deer we had, or at least for my farm, but still I am so hung up on Claw. That's who I was going after. And one night, Claw was through my property, guys, so much. I got him crossing through the creeks. He made so many appearances on my cameras in the area that I was trying to target him at least. Started to show some rut activity. He wound up getting locked down with, it was always with 2 does, but I realized it was mainly one that he was always with. Even though I didn't know where Claw was bedding at, I knew that my best chance to target this deer was to really spend most of my time just sitting in this field. Wound up ripping down a ladder stand, hanging it up for my best option to sneak in there without busting deer. But as the wind favor throughout the day in the morning, I mean, guys, just so much preparation went into trying to figure out where I had the best chance to get this deer. There's a reason why deer do not grow to the capability they have in my area, because the pressure is just, it's unreal, and no one was gonna let this deer walk if it was in front of them. Every time I heard a shot in the distance, I put my head down and say, Lord, please don't let that be Claw. He just traveled somewhere during the rut or just went to someone else's property, and I'd never see that deer again. After being physically and mentally drained targeting this deer every second I had throughout the day, we wound up getting like a 2-day hurricane, and it pretty much stormed all day, all night, and then we finally had a break around 12 o'clock. So guys, like my normal routine, I'm jumping up, I'm getting out here in the woods. I pulled into my farm at 1:23 p.m. and at 1:19, I got this video right here. Claw was just walking through the field just like he knew I wasn't there. I mean, it clear as day, guys, that deer would have been dropped right there in the field. I got him walking through my scrape as well. He was just doing his normal routine when he was on my property. The same route, same thing. And guys, I missed this deer by like 3-4 minutes. I can't even explain to the emotions I had knowing that he's done it again. He's slipped through and I wasn't there. I knew from this point I couldn't give him another opportunity to slip by, because this deer has given me a chance to harvest him. And I missed him by a couple minutes. Kept scouting, kept sitting, doing everything I possibly could to not let that opportunity happen again. And we wound up getting a overcast day. Now, this deer was so unpredictable for the routes and just what this mature buck did throughout his day that there was no targeting, there was no strategy. I've given him all the strategies I could possibly to give him. I threw out over 100 pounds of acorns in the field just because I knew this deer, if just for better food. I did everything I possibly could, but I knew I just had to keep on going, just keep trying to not give up on this deer. And then finally we had an overcast day, and I knew from 2 weeks ago that he daylighted on an overcast day, and there was a chance that if I sat pretty much the whole entire day, I could maybe see Claw. Guys, I'm gonna say this now. Unfortunately, I did not get actual footage of Claw walking through the field. I knew if he gave me the opportunity, I needed to do everything in my power to not miss. Use the exact tripod you guys are sitting on right now. Ordered a rest for my rifle because I'm working with such limited room up here in this ladder stand. There was absolutely no time to get on the big camera to actually get this deer walking through the field, but you guys got to capture on this very camera a side angle. And guys, I'm pretty much just gonna let the video roll on from here because I'm still speechless from this point on. I lost track of how many sits and how many hours I spent targeting this deer. It was over 20-25 sits, not even including what I've done in the rest of the year, just trying to capture Maverick or Warrior or Crush. That being said, the video speaks for itself. Let's roll into that overcast day. All right, y'all, today's conditions are pretty daggone cold, overcast, and a little bit of rain. It's like right at 12 right now. I'm gonna slip in a little bit earlier. Don't catch them crossing. We don't get them feeding this evening. We're getting like 5 hours of rain tonight, and this is when Claw moves the most. So let's just hope we get him stirred up, get him on his feet. We can put our eyes on him. It's at the woods. I think I got him. I think I got him. I heard the thud. I think I freaking got him. Please tell me I got him. Dude, I'm freaking sweating bullets and I'm shaking. Y'all, the 3 to 9 is not the way to go. That deer looks so freaking tiny in the scope, but I swear I think I heard the thud. I think I saw him jump. Guys, I was shaking so bad, and I still am. I wish I saw him go down in the field, so I don't want to celebrate yet, but guys, I think I got him. Oh, dude. Lord, please let me have hit that deer. Please, I've worked so hard for him. I don't even know what to freaking do. Guys, I'm gonna be so upset if I freaking missed him, because I've never shaken that bad on a deer. Flex is gonna come out and just help me bring the light, and we're gonna go over there and we're gonna see if he's down. Came out the way I wanted to, but I've never had this deer go to the feed this early. So I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna head down. Video and just how I explain cannot show just how hard and how passionate I've been for this whole farm this year, just managing these deer. If I miss this deer, I can almost guarantee you Buddy's not ever gonna be back just because of his behavior. But guys, I don't wanna think that way. I trust what I've done, and I just hope any hunter knows the shakes, man, they will freaking get to you. And anything past like 100 yards of this scope, boy, it is tiny. So let's just keep faith. I'm gonna wait for Lex to get here. We're gonna grab the light, and guys, let's hope we have a trail that we can follow. Lex is on the camera. I actually have my mom and my sister here. They know how obsessed and just how passionate, like I said, I've been with this deer. So we're in the middle of the field. We got probably about another 100 yards. The shakes have kind of calmed down because I'm starting to get a little nervous if there's gonna be a trail. Did I miss? But guys, I swear to you, I think I heard a thud, and the deer came out so fast, guys. I wasn't even filming with the camera to even see the deer, so I can't review the shot. I didn't want to waste any time on this. This was do or die to try to pull this off, and let's just hope I pulled it off. So let's head to the wood line. So we're getting pretty close to where I think I hit him. Unfortunately, I only have my big light, which is what I want to use, so hopefully try to spot this trail if there is one. Like, filming me doing this might be kind of difficult. We're gonna try to use some iPhones, but I don't want to miss even if there's a drop, because guys, he could not be, I can't say the word, but he might not even be at all. So we need to just try to take our time and hopefully find something. Oh my God, guys, I see white. Please tell me this is him. I haven't even found a trail yet, but I see something white. Let's try to walk up there and see if it's him. Guys, I think it's him. I'm not even joking. It is him, dude. He's been in the freaking field. Dude, I freaking got him. I don't understand how much time I put in to find this deer and to be in the moment at the right time to pull this off. And I'm looking at one of the biggest deer that we've had come through this whole entire property in the last 9 months. And I'm literally standing at 3 yards from him. To finally be sitting here with this deer right now, guys, I'm lost for words. This deer right here is unheard of in our area. It sucks that I've, taken this deer because of how many times he's probably dodged and weaved through the farms locally around here. This deer was living back over here at the cemetery before they started just clearing stuff down and putting apartment complexes. He has been pushed around his whole entire life, and unfortunately for him, he got pushed to our property this year, and I've taken the time and the dedication to try to pull this off. These G2s, man, on this side, this G2 has got to be almost a foot tall. This is an absolute monster, and I'm lost for words that I was blessed today to be able to finally get this joker for how many times he has outsmarted me. Alright, so you guys know the drill. We're gonna go back get the Fuller, load this joker up. We're gonna pull him into the front fields because the season's not over yet. I always want to try to get out of the location that I've been working so hard on. And then I'm really gonna get up close and show you guys every bit of detail this deer has to offer, why he was my #1 targeted deer. Sitting here just getting some pictures, and I just keep taking a second and just like stepping back and looking at this deer. I mean, this thing is an absolute stud, man. I mean, as soon as I saw this deer on camera for the first time, I knew that. I mean, I've never seen a deer that had tines and G's this tall. Just his demeanor, I mean, he's kind of like a unique deer with his rack too. This G2 right here, guys, I'm getting this deer mounted. I'm caping him out tonight. This G2's got to be at least a foot tall, but a very short, you know, his actual main beam's kind of short, but then on this side, this is where he got his name Claw, because it looks like a freaking, I don't know, just a massive claw. As soon as I see these deer, the name just comes to me right away, and I knew that was his. This side's the most dominant side. Just no matter what he is, the character of these deer, that's why I target them, that's why I name them, just to see their uniqueness. This deer's got to be at least anywhere between 5 and 6, obviously one of the oldest ones we have come on the property this year. And guys, I'm just humbled. Like it's a sad moment when obviously I know this deer is not running around anymore, but that's the thrill, that's the hunt, to get up every morning. You guys are always making fun of my eyes, like why my eyes so dark. Guys, it's called no sleep. I live like this deer because I'm on their schedule, just because I'm not out here in the woods. I mean, anytime these deer are on the cameras and the way I have to strategize, he bedded in around a 13-acre spot. This deer loved the swamp. It was a good area for him to be, and he knew no one was going back there. These deer are pretty pressured around here, and this Claw knew exactly what he was doing constantly throughout his days. Fortunately, I figured him out too, and I was able to cut him off halfway. And Buddy couldn't resist the acorns. Hand picking about 100 pounds of acorns really helped, because this deer, he wanted the protein for him after the rut. So figure out where I'm doing that, where I'm caping him out. I got to get this deer situated pretty quickly here. I will pick this back up again tomorrow. It is the next day. Guys, I actually got some sleep last night, and I can't tell you how good it feels. We're walking out to the spot where Claw got put in the dirt, man. I got the old rangefinder if you guys want to check these out. You know, to do link in the description. You can actually use my promo code and get you some money off. And this suit as well. This suit is what kept my ass warm through all of the missions out here trying to get Claw, because trust me, it was cold some of these mornings. While we were caping out Claw last night, we actually found out a lot of information about this deer. I'm gonna explain to you guys once we hop back in the truck, 'cause it's pretty windy out here, but stay tuned for that, because some of this stuff is it blew my mind. Information like that, that's why I love doing this, and I was shocked on some of the stuff that we found with this deer. So, all right, we're walking up to the spot. Let's see where Claw got hit. All right, somewhere about right here, I'm gonna guess. That seems about right. 199, so right at 200 yards, Buddy got hit. You can see my truck, my tree stand is just right about 15 yards in front of that, and this is where I stand right here. And Claw actually hit the dirt just right down here. In the scope, it's kind of hard to tell. I thought he went straight into the woods, and honestly, he still could have, but he wound up being just laying over here in the field. So this deer only probably went minimum 25, 30 yards out somewhere in here, and I shot him about right there. You guys know the drill. I haven't done it for myself yet this year because I've been bringing everyone else to get their first deer. But finally, I get to eject my shell, and where's she at? There she is. And put it with old Claw, son. I love doing that, man. It's just, you want to save every bit of the moment. Go ahead and load another one up so we can have it ready for next time, because who knows who we're taking next. I got you guys in the truck now. I wanted to explain a little bit more about Claw. Deer don't get to the age of 3 even. I mean, as soon as he's got a set of horns that you can hold, that being a 6-point or 8-point, people shoot them. And I mean, I understand, I get it. I've shot young deer this year for other people, but I'm also trying to, you know, manage these properties. Last night while we were caping Claw out, we actually got to look at some of the details. So guys, it happened so quick when I wound up shooting him that, like I said, I wasn't even filming sadly with my big camera. You guys didn't even get to see that deer come out. You might have got him crossing the field with this camera, but a deer like that, I was not wasting any time. I was not messing around. as soon as he comes into the field, he's gone. And it just in that moment, guys, I'm sorry, but I can't even look back at the footage to know exactly what happens. I really don't remember. But I actually shot Claw through the gut, and the bullet stopped, just like everyone else's we shot this year with that rifle. The bullet stopped right on the skin, on the shoulder. So I mean, my shot executed perfectly for the way I had it aimed. And another interesting thing is that, guys, the scars and just the detail of this deer was a fighter. And you guys let me know in the comments down below if you've had this happen. This is what I've heard about deer, but the Claw had no teeth. Like, he literally had 2 of his little front teeth. The rest of his jaw was absolutely, I mean, there's nothing, like not even frayed down, like it was just gums. Like he had no teeth, and I was always wondering why. He was very aggressive when he was chewing, because he's an old man. He was just using his gums to get food down. Claw had to be a minimum of 6 years old, and I'm actually going to get the jaw sent off to Game and Wildlife. And guys, I'm curious to know, like, I harvested this animal, I want to know everything about him. I want to know if they can tell me the actual age of this deer, because it really wouldn't blow my mind if he was maybe a little bit older. And even though I'm describing the hunters, I'm a hunter too, guys. I mean, I did the same thing they would have done, but at least I got to give you guys a story of Claw with all the information that I could get on him. I just really hope you enjoyed this video, and we're gonna keep at it. And you know, there's a lot more things to come. Be looking for the next video. I really appreciate you guys watching.